that one, right?
Yeah, a lot of teams right now simply don't want to deal with Akizuki. They're used, they're kind of used to seeing it with clan battles and whatnot, and they're just tired of dealing with them.
yeah. So you look right away. These teams are going to take some experience, right?
Yeah.
Away from clan battles, because they've had a little bit of time to adjust to this.
Yeah.
And then you look at RF, and they've banned both Russian battleships.
It looks like that Vladivostok and Lenin are both going off the board, and Cute comes in there with their ban for Otago. So that is our 4th ban there.
So does that mean
Cruiser Otago
doesn't get to play?
Cute, of course, has a player named Cruiser Otago, and he's now what do I do?
do they have to get a replacement for that?
No, I don't think it works that way. The actual ship is banned. So there's our 4 ship bans for this match. And again, the Russian battleships have developed this reputation in clan battles of just being insanely hard to get off the board with they have really hard-hitting guns. So I'm not really surprised to see teams wanting to get rid of that. So we're starting here on North.
This has been a map that's been in competitive for how long?
Forever,
time. Right?
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what they do because, as clan battles are 6v6, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's only one battleship. So this is 8v8. You get a chance of 2 battleships, right? So I'm very interested to see what these teams bring. As you can see, they banned some battleships.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're probably the most tanky battleships, right?
I would agree.
Because if you think, yes, the Lenin, its broadside is a little squishy, but if you get that thing into a position where you can just sit bow on, it's very hard to dislodge, right?
You keep it angled, she's lovely.
Same with Vladivostok.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, their range is a little bit shorter than the contemporaries, right? The other battleships, but when it comes to holding a position or delaying an enemy team, they become very hard to dislodge. So, it's very interesting to see what battleships they're going to bring, to pair with, their DDs, right? Because Akizuki, like you said, has been a monster in clan battles, right? Everyone's been playing a lot of them because they deal a lot of damage. They have decent torp. They have a good combination of everything,
nice mix.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they bring to this when they're trying to get around those bans. Because Otago as well, very good stealth.
Yes.
Good torps.
Yes.
Really good alpha HE damage, which if it's in support of a DD and you find the enemy DD, this goes, and again, this is another thing that goes to clan battles, right? You typically want to run a cruiser that has low detection, high HE alpha, or alpha in general, and they follow along that DD, that DD gets spotted, and boom, you have that instant support, right?
Yep.
But
we're one of many clans here in Kraken that have been using Otago definitely over the course of the clan battle season to good effect. So anyway, what's going to happen right now? What's happening is now that the bans are in, the teams are readjusting. Cute is ready. RF is taking some of their guys back to port to get some of their ships ready. They may have had to readjust. Want to mention, of course, during the day here, what we're going to have going on in the chat. There's going to be a number of giveaways. Fem is handling all that in the background. Also, for those of you that maybe have missed some of the community streams the last couple of days, we also are going to have that Mission 4 code come up at various points of the stream. So stay frosty, and you'll see that along the way.
I think RF is just adjusting to the bans, right?
That's probably what they're doing.
Because I think this is one of the things that is the interesting thing is, maybe they weren't expecting what Cuter was going to ban.
It's a possibility.
Now,
go ahead.
I think the Akizuki should have been expected by both teams after seeing what's happening in clan battles.
Yeah.
But maybe the Otago was the one that maybe they had planned, like we had talked about, that close escort, and they're like, uh-oh. Okay. Now we have to figure out what cruiser do we bring in that spot.
Okay. Well, a couple other updates that I want to bring while we're kind of waiting for the teams to get together, and we're getting pretty close here, so we'll be very quick. We did have one late drop late in the week. One of the teams pulled out. It was they were listed as 47%, but it's one of these clans that changes their names all the time. So honestly, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with their names. I think it's Bikes right now.
Yeah, and I think their original name may have been Yikes.
Yikes. No CV and 19. Anyway, they had been invited. They had accepted. They advised us on about yesterday. I think they weren't going to be able to make it. And then I'm also hearing that 07 has had to cancel, so they won't be with us as well either. So that means PSV automatically will be moving on out of that match.
You know, that's a very surprising.
That is surprising.
You know, they've been very consistent with their tournament participation. Yeah. So it's honestly a little sad to see that 07.
It is a little bit,
because I think a lot of us, you know, that have watched this have seen that they've been consistently good at these type of tournaments. So,
indeed.
You know.
Well, we're dropping now. I'm going to be really curious to see what these guys decide to do with their destroyer compositions, especially RF. RF coming in, taking both of those big Russian battleships off the board. I almost feel like maybe now you want to lean a little torpedo heavy with your destroyer choices. I don't know.
Well,
interesting.
Look, so this is the fun part, right?
Yeah, because the fun part.
The picks and bans have made it so that now we're going to be like,
yeah, exactly. All right, this is going to be good. This will be good. All right, so of course, Cute now coming in, North Carolina, Amagi, Baltimore, Bayard, and Kutuzov, which is an interesting mix of cruisers. Kid, obviously bringing that for the heel, and double Cossack.
For RF, we have double Massachusetts, Edinburgh, Bayards times 2,
double Bayard,
double 2 Loyangs, and a Kiev. So when you think about this, I'm very interested to see where they take these ships, because Bayards, you start thinking about them, they're armor-wise very squishy.
Yeah, they have basically no armor,
but they are very good at kiting, very good at pumping out damage.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, if you're looking at these lineups, radar-wise, which is something we always look at. Both teams only bringing one radar. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Edinburgh, I'm gonna say is radar until until we see different. But I mean, there wouldn't be a point, right? Because it can I believe stealth radar. Is one of the advantages.
Yes, indeed.
And then Baltimore for the Baltimore's still good.
Baltimore remains an excellent ship. That super heavy AP is always good, and her HE damage is not to be completely discounted by any stretch. Cute here going for an AC split. Kid, Cossack, Bayard, Baltimore, and Amagi headed towards the A flank. Kutuzov, North Carolina, and Cossack making their way to C.
So RF is actually doing it. They're going to all 3 caps. They have a Kiev and a Massachusetts going to A. They have a Loyang going to B. All the cruisers, the 2 Bayards, the Edinburgh, and a Massachusetts, and a Loyang are all going to C. So they're pushing pretty heavy onto the C side. But I'm interested to see if these cruisers decide to stop a little bit, in that BC area where you typically see a lot of ships in random battles, and even ranked or clan battles. They tend to get in that area, and they kind of try to control both caps from that region.
Well, I spoke a little too soon about Cute here. They're setting up their Baltimore on the northern end of B. The Kid is smoking him up, so that's going to be the long duration American smoke. And then presumably the Kid will then work to spot for him from there.
So the Loyang from RF that went to B, there are torps in the water already, and he is doing the correct thing and backing onto the cap. So you should see this cap get started very soon. And I assume with, you said the Baltimore there, that radar will become...
More than likely. The Baltimore, he kind of took an angle into the island now. He's trying to reverse back into the smoke, so he's got angles over it. The torps are spotted. There's the radar. So they have picked him up now.
So of course, the first thing he's going to do, because he backed in correctly, is he's going to leave that cap.
Off he goes.
Wait for that radar to go away. But it's interesting. So how many ships have been spotted?
We caught a brief glimpse of the Bayard, and then of course, obviously, we can see the Loyang as he runs south. The Kiev has just been picked up on the bottom end of A.
Okay, so from my side, we see that Bayard. The Baltimore was briefly spotted, of course, going into the B area, but that's it. Right now, RF is really low on the spotting. And maybe that's just because they have a lot of ships behind islands right now.
Also, remember, without carriers in the environment, spotting is going to be a huge challenge for everybody, right? You see triple destroyers because you need the spotting, right? The carrier can't do it for you.
Well, and you start looking at this. The Kiev, as a flank ship, is good, but as a capping ship, it's almost impossible.
A little more challenging. Definitely with the Cossacks that out detect it quite significantly.
And that's what I assume is on A right now, because the Kiev was there and decided nope, no idea, not going there.
The Cossack spotted him, and he ran out. Cruiser Kashima here will have A momentarily. That will amount for the first points gain for either team. There we go. 4 minutes gone. Cute bags the A cap here. Little bit of a gunfight now happening at B. Yep. Preteen's kid is caught out of smoke. The Edinburgh is right on the edge of the cap. And now it looks like he's face spotting the Lo Yang to his south.
Looks like they spotted each other, right?
Yep. They spotted each other briefly.
Over at C, I would assume that's the other Cossack that's capping C. Lo Yang from RF is backing onto the cap. They just spotted each other. Hey, that's a name I recognize.
Congo Pride. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. An old Impact veteran here playing with Cute today.
Yeah.
Definitely a veteran of the old Warship Supremacy League where we played at Tier 8.
He's been around. So what is this ship? I see shells coming out from the 9-10 line. RF is just pinging out there. So I think a ship got out there that was not spotted, like you said, because CVs are not in here. So what's out there right now?
That is Destroyer Ayanami's Kutuzov.
Interesting.
Working into a nice flank position over there.
Yes.
Now, what I find really interesting about RF's board position, they've invested in B.
Yes.
One of the Massachusetts is kind of camped out in between A and B, helping cover those. He's got that Baltimore pinned. The Baltimore basically can't leave that position. And now with them pushing Congo off the C cap, RF now goes up on a cap advantage here. 5 minutes gone as they will start ticking up points a little faster than Cute. Well, I say that, but Congo is about to be back into the top of the cap.
You thought Congo was going to leave that quick? a veteran of the game Congo?
He did smoke a bit to break detection, got out of the way, but now he is, quite contesting. There it is. Now he's contesting the cap.
You know, and I think one of the things for Congo is that he has to be very aware of is his support, right?
Yes.
You said Destroyer Ayanami is actually out on the 9 line.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was some type of play from RF to get a little aggressive, he basically has a North Carolina right now as his main support. So he can't get too aggressive and force himself onto that cap too far, or he gets caught out.
Well, it looks like they set this up to kite, right? If you look at how the North Carolina is angled, pointing north, it looks like that was meant to kite, but that's not. The Kutuzov, Ayanami's Kutuzov now pushing due south down the 9 line, taking who's that? Ruthven's Edinburgh under fire. Kind of an interesting choice there. Congo does bag the cap, forced out again. We're going to be trading the C cap again, it looks like.
So Ruthven actually backed up into a torp from Congo.
Yep.
Congo put out good torps, predicted where that Edinburgh, or if he was spotted, definitely put out good torps. So now that Edinburgh is kind of in a spot where, yes, he has his heel. He'll be able to get some of that back, but he's kind of in an exposed spot because the Kutuzov that is on that flank, anytime he gets spotted, we'll be able to take shots. Because one of the strengths of the Kutuzov is the range, right?
Indeed.
You could sit what I think it's almost 19.
19 and change.
You could sit way back from the battle, and that's one of the things I think is going to hamper RF. Is trying to take this C cap is definitely becoming the point of contention, right?
Well,
we've seen B-Ray cap it, we've seen Congo cap it,
and now
B-Ray's capping it again. So
Ayanami's push down the 9 line kind of getting a little blunted here. Ossium's Bayard moving into position to kind of deny him that angle as the Bayard moves up the 8 line instead. And of course now we see, well, it looks like they drove off BW Ray just long enough, or he had to duck out to avoid a torp or something.
No, he's actually still on the cap.
He is now, but
he got reset.
Oh, that's what it was.
Congo definitely reset him.
Both teams very close here. 7.5 minutes gone. Only 30 points basically separating these two teams as they just still a lot of jockeying for position here.
So it looks like Cuter is making another play for B. I just saw Preteen's kid get spotted briefly and smoke up.
Well, and the Baltimore radar now has Kafri's Lo Yang spotted in the cap as Preteen continues to shell him. But Gitrex Bayard in the back there also low enough that could be a threat. The kid is actually, Preteen's changed his fire to try and get this Bayard off the board.
So and I think that's something we talked about at the very beginning is the Bayard is great at dealing damage, but not great at
squishy.
Yes, and you can see even the kids 127s are doing a good chunk of damage. So he is definitely low. And if you look at the position of the Bayard, I feel like that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be up against an island, right?
No,
because
it's not that ship's strength. Now, they've managed to push Preteen off the cap. It looks like he's radared now. Torps came through the smoke. It looks like he's going to dodge them effectively, but the Bayard now able to shell him. Presumably the Edinburgh's got him radared.
Let's see. The Edinburgh is... yes, very close. Let's see. He is about 10. I think he just went dark now.
11 minutes to play. The lead flips now as RF moves out to their first lead of the game on the strength of their cap advantage.
So RF's making an interesting play here. They got B-Ball 617 in a Massachusetts pushing into the C cap, and he's taking 20k damage, 25k damage very quickly just getting there. I feel like this is when you have control of the caps, this is a little too soon to try to push a battleship in. Because he's going to get in here and Destroyer Ayanami is going to have maybe free time, but it looks like Ozium out here is pushing Destroyer Ayanami, and I think that's a risky play.
I don't like this play because Taidu Setsuka's like his North Carolina hero. Like all he's got to do is turn his guns, and he's got a great angle on Ozium. Yep, that was because he hadn't done it yet, but now the guns are turning to get shots on Ozium as they've put. Yep, there's B-Ball pushing into C.
So it looks like the plan was a dual push, right? The Massachusetts was pushing into the C cap, as well as Ozium was going to push that flank. But it looks like that's HE.
It is. He fired HE, and he shot a little long. Not a great salvo there.
And Ozium is actually pretty even with Destroyer Ayanami now.
And I was going to say, Destroyer Ayanami also looking fairly beat up as well. Both of these light cruisers on about 4,000 HP. They might simply be going for the trade at this point.
Yeah, it looks
like Ayanami's just decided he's burning. He's going to burn out momentarily. It looks like he's just trying to trade, and I think they're going to do it. Yep. So we trade light cruisers on the 10 line. They push the Massachusetts through as RF moves out to about a 60-point lead here as we cross the halfway mark of the match.
So maybe the push by B-Ball was good. So it looks like with him getting into that position, it forced between him and Ozium, forcing Destroyer Ayanami to move out of that position that he was in to get that damage over those islands. Now RF has firm control over C. It's gonna be very hard for Cutie, all of them, to get into this cap.
I don't see a way that they can get back into C right now. They don't have the firepower on that side of the board. And they had already, it looked like long ago they had always set up to kite over there. And so it looks like right now RF's kind of playing into that, but their A flank has never really pushed. They seem to be doing that now, though. The Baltimore, the Amagi, the Bayard, the Cossack, all kind of hinging around here as they push on this western flank.
So remember we had talked about at the very beginning that 2 battleships, right? I feel like Cruiser Otago, a veteran, of course, that's been around forever, hasn't really been involved yet.
I would agree.
I think he just took a big hit.
Took a solid hit there.
But I think he's taken a lot of time on this flank to get around. And they are focusing down Red Scarab, and he is taking a decent amount of damage. But that's focusing the battleship. Yep. And the battleships are always good at absorbing a lot of damage, right? But I'm not sure that this push is that Cossack over there pushing with them? Because
yes, he is.
Okay.
The Cossack is actually in the van. He is in a G4 at the moment.
Okay. Trying
to leave some torps for Scarab. There's a lot of low health ships over here. This is the trick, right? Cuter has traded better in terms of gross HP, but they've only managed to kill the Bayard. They've got quite a number of ships that are, let's say, fairly low. Like if they really need to get guns on Get Rex Bayard, that's like free points.
Yes, Get Rex right now. Yes,
but he's got a great board position, and it looks like they've worked the Baltimore up there to get him. They might do it.
I think Preteen's definitely going to open up.
Preteen's definitely in on this fight now. He's 1600 HP. He can absolutely kill that Bayard. They need this kill. They need these points.
Yeah, the points are definitely starting to slip away from them.
And there they go. They got it. They're up a ship now. That narrows the gap back down and resets the clock a bit.
And see, so RF had good control over B and C, but the thing that Cuter has done well is they've pushed from A now, and they've pushed RF onto the BC side, and now it's getting to the point where how are they going to contest back, right?
Yeah, Yui's Baltimore is in a brilliant position.
Yes.
And now there's both destroyers are kind of hovering near this B cap. They will be able to pick up this cap eventually. It's only a matter of time. But with 2.5 minutes left on the timer right now, they can't afford to wait too long. Ooh, Ruth just took a big hit.
But I think the thing is with the Baltimore there, that Edinburgh is going to lose that fight. If they continue to trade shots, that Baltimore especially with the
It's-
armor of the Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a long term. That's not a fight that I would favor the Edinburgh in. There we go. Preteen finally into the top end of B. As who is this? This is Kashima's Cossack has turned around and is headed back south down the 4 line, just astern of Yui.
Well, one ship I want to talk about real quick is the Kiev. I feel like the Kiev,
We haven't seen a lot of him.
you know, Bunny has been out here on the A-B side the whole match.
Yeah.
And really, he's taken a lot of damage, and maybe, he started some fires, but what is he... This is the thing with the Kiev is, it's great for that damage, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes time to fight other DDs and spot DDs, I think that's where you start to have a little bit of an issue.
Indeed.
And RF so RF started off well. It looks like we might have a ram. It looks like B-Ball and Setsuka are they're definitely ramming. I'm not sure
I don't like that trade.
I'm not sure if Setsuka really wanted to do that, but I guess battleship for battleship,
It's a trade, right?
It's a trade, yes.
In the end, it's a neutral trade. I don't like it though, because now you're. I mean, admittedly, you've got to make a play. You've got
Yes,
less than
yes.
if you're RF, you've got less than 3 minutes on the timer here with the cap change at B. But now it's all on the low Yang. It's all on BW Ray's Yang to make sure that he holds C if Congo wants to go that way. How much health does Ray have?
he has 9,400.
Okay, he's got about double Congo's HP, so Congo's not going to make that push.
So I would assume Congo would hang around a little bit.
Yep.
Just kind of make sure that B-Ray doesn't push out of there. But really, it's going to come down to B. And Red Scarab, Kaifi? Sorry if I slaughtered the name.
That's okay.
And Bunny, I mean, RF right now is making a concentrated push. Ruthven has actually taken his Edinburgh, and he's on your side now.
Goodness, he is. They've just spotted him as he comes up this gap up the 6 line. Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm assuming he's trying to catch Preteen's kid here in the open with no support.
Yes.
Preteen knows he's there, and Preteen had the chance for some island cover, but he didn't take it. I'm a little surprised at that.
Oh, so it looks like Preteen is definitely.
Preteen looks like Preteen's coming under fire now.
But so the problem that RF have right now is they have the Bayard behind them.
Yes.
Shooting Red Scarab.
Yep.
In the stern, and they're basically just ignoring him.
Yeah.
They
can't do anything about it at this point.
One of the things that ship is great at is kiting, right?
Yep.
So they already know the Massachusetts shells.
Ooh, Preteen now in a gunfight with the Edinburgh. A gunfight, he might win.
But he also has help. Congo is definitely helping him as well.
He's got the help.
So maybe Ruthven bit off a little bit more than he would like. I mean, he's healing.
There comes the heal.
Yeah, so here it comes. But I mean, that's a tough fight because
the destroyers definitely have him in rate of fire.
They have him rate of fire, and if they angle well enough.
Ooh, but Kafi is trying to get back onto B. 14 points separate these teams. Oh, that's big. That cuts the timer down to almost nothing. Only 20 seconds now left for RF to make a play. It was so close. It was literally 10, 15 points apart. Kafi's in this smoke, but he's not on the cap. I think they've realized it doesn't matter. Even if he stops the cap, it just stretches the game out a little longer.
And I mean.
Yep, there it is. It's coming.
Yep.
GG's RF coming in with the GG as Cute will win this game.
You know that's the thing about these teams, right? That's experience you see.
Yeah. That was a really good game.
Yeah. For the first game of the day.
Whew, that was fun.
So we look at the ships that each team chose. The Baltimore of Yui
Huge choice.
came in a huge,
clutch.
huge.